This is a production of Gordon College's Scott Radio.
Scott Radio.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Ben Schneider Show. My guest today is none other than Joe Tibbles. Joe, thank you so much for coming on.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Coach Wikerd. Hi, Steven. Hi, Bridget. That's all the highs I wanted to say.
Nobody else you want to shout out?
Hi, Ben. Thanks for hosting me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to the Academy for preparing me to come here. Shout out high school. Shout out how middle school, elementary school. Shout out Jesus. Shout out Minnesota Vikings and Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, we'll get into some football a little bit later on, too, here.
Shout out Coach Wikerd's Eagles. Fly.
Well, after last night, I don't know about that after last night.
I'm sorry, Schneids. I know it still
yeah,
hurts.
no,
It's
I know.
okay.
I know, we got Savannah Cortez working in Matech.
Go,
Also,
Savannah.
Dallas Cowboys fans, so
Oh.
that's, yeah.
Ferris, what's up, dude?
She had a good night.
win
I know
last
I didn't. And Chase Strauss, our marketing director, is here as well.
Hi, Chase. You look cute in that flannel.
All right, well, we call you Tibbs, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You're allowed to call me Tibbs.
Yeah,
If
I mean,
I'm on a team with you, you can call me Tibbs.
I don't know what it is about the cross-country team and last names. It's like, I'm Schneids. Like,
Yeah,
nobody ever called me Schneids
Last
growing
names
up.
are just
but-
phenomenal.
yeah, like
Schneids. You know
last
this. They're just fun to
names
play with.
and make it plural, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's
It's all fun and games. Nicknames are great.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. There's something about it that rolls off the tongue well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Can I just call you Tibbs tonight,
Yeah.
or I can call you whatever you want?
You can call
whatever.
whatever you want, Schneider. Like lasagna.
Lasagna?
Like, you just think of like beautiful words
Well-
like lasagna. Like, oh, Steven makes a phenomenal lasagna. That man is the best chef in the world.
Yeah.
And I beat him in Madden twice today.
Oh, nice.
Shout out JVB. It's my
Yeah.
brother. And Will.
Steve made
Hi, Will Hunt.
Steve made some pretty good pancakes yesterday, right?
Oh, you don't even know. Me, Coach, and Steve. Last night we rolled to Coach's at like 8:30. We started making the batter. Oh, so much dry ingredients and wet ingredients. Just putting them in bowls, making so many
Yeah.
pancakes.
And you were there too, right?
Yeah, we slept over, hung out with the kids. It was a great night. We watched Now You See Me Too. I get really excited during movies. That's a movie they use card tricks and magic to steal stuff. And Schneider, you don't even know, brother. It's so crazy. They be throwing the cards. They be disappearing in water. There's like a rain machine. Come on now, you know this. And Coach Wikerd was getting hyped. We was eating chips and salsa. Steven was just lying on the couch. He's having a good time. But yeah, we made all the batter. We cooled it. We went to bed. Got up in the morning. Me, Coach, and Steve, we set the tables up. I stepped in dog poop in my new trainers. I got mad. I cleaned them for like half an hour. I put them back on. I sat down. And then we started. We had the grill set up. We had the griddles. Then we had the TV with NFL Red Zone in front. Oh, Schneids. We was living, brother. We was living.
That's the first time I've actually gotten to see Red Zone. I've only heard about it, but
it is phenomenal.
Yeah, to just kind of have a whip around of every single game going on.
Every game, whoever's close to the red zone, it's so nice. The Vikings get shown a lot, which is great. Usually I stream them on my phone too, but I didn't have to. It was awesome. It's a great Sunday. Great pancake dinner. I ate 11 pancakes.
Okay.
I was
so
so
you got close to the old record.
I know. I did get close to the old record, and
Yeah,
then Steven
new
French
record,
had to just come out of nowhere and eat 20 pancakes.
20. So he ended up to 20.
2-0.
Wow.
7 plus 13. 20 pancakes, and these are thick. These are like oatmeal pancakes. Wikerd like grew them in his backyard with his like fermented tea in the woods where he rides his bicycle. Like, oh my goodness, these pancakes are thick. Yeah, it was an afternoon. I drove back with Bridget, and in the car I was just so full. Schneids, you were there. You understand.
Yeah.
We had sausage and applesauce. Coach had his homemade yogurt that he just makes in the guest room where we were sleeping. There's just a yogurt maker. Like, this dude is wild. I love that man.
Yeah, I only had 4, so
That's
I
okay,
feel
though,
kind
Schneids. That's okay. You're ready to run. I was
Yeah.
not ready for 6
well, yeah,
a.m.
I
this
had
morning.
some sausage too, so I
Okay,
filled up. I got enough to eat.
Schneids,
So,
getting a little protein in there.
do you have any
brother.
sausage tips?
I did. I had 3 with some
Nice.
applesauce. I
Okay.
got my veggies or fruits and veggies. Same thing. It was a good afternoon. Watched some football. I drank some of that orange apple cinnamon cider. That was banging. Oh my, that slaps, as OJ would say. I gotta call out the whole team. Toro, I love you. You have very good taste in music. Shout out Rich Homie Quan. Shout out Macklemore.
Everybody.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are my guys.
All right. Well, I didn't really plan as much this time around because knowing you, I know you can just.
That's okay.
keep
I got
going
stories
for,
on stories.
We're 5 minutes into the show already. Yeah.
Me and
Just
Wikerd are
going.
like 12-year-olds. So we've probably already had a million stories together. And Steven's just like my homie.
All right. Well, I do want to ask you. Obviously, I know you from cross country team. So,
Yes.
I know I've been running since 6th grade, but
Oh, it is
curious
gross,
to-
Schneid. So much running.
yeah.
Track season, we just got to sprint a couple times, maybe go over some hurdles, finish, let my chain rattle a little bit. But in cross country, we just run, and then we run some more, and then we run more. And, this weekend at the race, I was just so hyped. We were on the line. We were ready to go. I take off sprinting. About 10 seconds in, I hear some old lady or some like mother on the side and go, "Gordon, you're going the wrong way." I turn around and I have sprinted the wrong way, and I'm out in front of everyone in the wrong direction. There's like a baseball field in the path. All right, stay with me, audience. There's a path straight, and there's a baseball field to the left. Bridget Mellon took a video. Ask her if you want to see it.
That's what was in the group chat.
It was, Schneid's. It was
so
phenomenal.
you actually went the wrong way.
Schneid's. I was so hyped. I was just cooking Schneid's. I had the arms moving, turnover. Shout out Coach Wikerd, turnover, arm movement, fluidity. That's my boy right there. I was moving. We were going. I was like, yes. I was like, I don't see anyone. I was like, I'm out in front. I turn around. There's this pack of just 200 dudes heading for the woods, and I look, and I'm just going towards the baseball field. There's a video. You see 200 people run one way, and you see one white dude from Gordon. Just, so pale, Schneid's. I am so pale. In these little shorts and this tank top, just cooking it in the wrong way. Right to the stands. Unbelievable. Shout out cross country. Shout out Coach Wikerd. I'm sorry for going the wrong way.
Okay, well,
that was my weekend. It was a good race, though. There was a lot of divots.
I was gonna ask about your journey and how you got started running, and we ended up on the weekend. But
it was a good weekend, man.
Yeah.
Pancake dinner.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Dude.
absolutely.
Go Eagles. Psych.
Don't bring that up just yet.
I won't, Schneid.
well,
I'm sorry.
plenty
I'm
of
getting
time to get
antsy.
it.
I'm getting antsy.
I know. So, you're the beginning of your career.
Yes.
Did you start in high school? Were you doing any recreational running before that?
I've been doing sports since I was like 4 or 5, but mostly just football. I played tackle football. I actually started out in Little League soccer. I got kicked out in kindergarten. So you know how you're not supposed to touch the ball with your hands?
Yeah.
I thought that applied to everyone. So I was running down the field, little me, like 4'0", not even like a buck, probably like 40 pounds. I'm just running down the field, just having a jolly old time in my jersey, just kicking this soccer ball. Shout out soccer. You soccer players, that sport is so hard. I don't understand how y'all do it. I get my feet mixed up. It is unbelievable. I thought I had footwork from football, but dude, soccer players are unreal. Shout out Gordon Soccer. Y'all are nice. So I'm running with the ball.
Defending
and I kick
CCC champions.
I know.
Our soccer team.
I kick it. I kick it towards the goal, and it's about to go in, and I'm just hyped up, and the goalie catches it with his hands. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, wait, nobody's allowed to use their hands. I didn't know the goalie was allowed to use their hands, and it was overtime. And I was little me. I was heated. So I sprinted at the goalie, and I just full-on tackled him into the net, and I ripped the ball out of his hands, and I started screaming at him. I'm like, you're not allowed to use the ball in your hands. He's like, ha, ha, I'm the goalie. I'm allowed to use my hands. I was like, this is outrageous, and I just threw the ball at him, and I was so angry. And my coach was like, Joe, you can't do that. And I was like, Coach, he's cheating. I was like, Joe, you can use your hands in soccer. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I need a different sport. So and then talked with the coach, talked with the.
Do you need some anger management classes?
I love you too, Chase. I do not need anger management. We'll get to the track. We'll get to the anger management track high school stories later. That was only twice, and he cut me off. It was he was asking for it. All right, so then I had to talk with the coach, the league management. They thought I would be better suited for a different sport, so I was honorably disbanded from kindergarten soccer. I think I still hold the record as the only kid to ever get kicked out of kindergarten soccer league.
Wow.
So then I started picking up tackle
That's impressive.
football, and I was still like 40 pounds, playing right guard because I didn't know how to do anything yet, and I was just Schneid. I fell in love with the game.
So were you playing tackle football at what, 5, 6 years old?
Yeah, F team. It goes up. It goes FEDCBA, and each one's
Okay.
like a weight class. And F is technically is like kindergarten to like it's like kindergarten to like 2nd grade. So you're barely old. They just put the pads on and send the kids out there. Like, go, try your best. You run the ball every time. You don't pass. I loved it. So I played football for 13 years till my
Wow,
senior year
okay.
of high school. That was my main sport. I didn't start running until in 5th grade. We had this like elementary track meet, and I thought it'd be fun to run a mile, and I did it. And I liked how gritty it was, and I liked how when I passed the other people on the track and like saw their faces like dying, how I was dying, but I was dying more slowly, so it meant I had more grit. I was a very competitive kid. So I was running by him, I looked by him like, yes, I'm not that slow. You lose, I win, and I fell in love with the sport, Schneider. The fact that I can win and like look at other people and be like, I'm faster than you, and then look at people ahead of me and be like, I'm slower than you, I'm going to work my rear end off to catch you. It's just the fact that you can fight against yourself in the sport is completely based off of effort. There's no luck in track and field. Actually, I'll get to that later. There was one meet in my senior year that was not lucky at all. All right, so now we got it. I started in elementary school. I loved it. So I went to middle school, still was playing football in middle school, getting ready for high school football. I was psyched. I played basketball too. Shout out AJ on the basketball team. That's my guy. He's my rehab buddy. We be in there. I almost beat him in horse. Better watch out, but. Nah, for real. Shout out Gordon Basketball. Y'all are so nice too. It's unreal.
Yeah.
I was playing basketball and football in middle school, and I was like, I should be doing more with my time. And I knew I had the spring open, so I was like, all right, I'll start doing track in the spring. Came out, broke 4 school records the first meet, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm kind of nice at this track stuff. So then I would do it during middle school. And shout out Alex Heiser. He didn't go here, but he broke my middle school records after I went to high school. Or no, same year, my 8th grade year, he broke them. He's so fast. I was angry, but I'm still second, so it's okay. So, yeah, I started loving it. Got to high school, was excited. Played freshman football, played freshman basketball. Got to the spring, kind of messed around in track. Didn't really care as much. Threw shot put. Didn't even run. Just threw shot put. I was so small, and I just threw shot put because our football coach is also our throws coach. Shout out Coach Peterson. Good luck at Chelmsford this Friday. He was also our throws coach, so I just did it so I could lift with him. We could go over plays and stuff just to, like, get ready for the season. And I didn't really try it. But then I got put in, like, the freshman meet, and I ran, like, the 200, the 400, and the 4x4, and I enjoyed it. I didn't really caught a passion for it, but I enjoyed it. Then we get to sophomore year of high school, JV football, JV basketball. Shout out JV basketball. That's my coach right there, KP, my brother. Almost as cool as Coach Wikerd. And then, I was having a ball. I was just messing around. Then got to track, switched over to 400 hurdles, started really focusing and grinding, and found out, hey, I'm probably a lot better at track than basketball and football because in track, height doesn't matter as much except high jump and hurdles. Shout out college 110 hurdles. That is, if you do the 110 hurdles in college, God bless. You are so tall. And I do the decathlon, but we'll get to that later. 110 hurdles are my mortal enemy and high jump. Yeah, sophomore year, I'm hurdling. I'm having a great time. I'm grinding. I made the state meet, which was awesome. Ran like a 63, 62. Wasn't very fast yet, but we'll get there eventually. And then come junior year football, get knocked out, get amnesia, out half the football season. Come back, first game back, I get like a little swing pass, and I just truck the living bejeebers out of the corner, and my coach specifically told me, Joe, I'm putting you in no contact. Try to just run out of bounds or something, and I think that represents my running mentality well because I just took the ball and just straight into the corner, ran him over, then got blew up by the linebacker. Oh, I loved that day. And so I was back to playing football, and then I did one more season of JV basketball. I'm not very good at basketball. I would just go in there and scream a lot.
I played basketball too. I was not all that great.
Okay,
so,
Schneid, you was a baller though.
Well, I went to a very small school, so we needed all the guys we could get. So
yeah, my school was very well. My high school was 2,700 kids, so it was tough. But JV basketball was fun. I'd come in off the bench, scream a little bit, foul a couple times, maybe make a layup or hoist up an air ball 3-pointer if I was really feeling it. I was the captain though because I was like the only junior on JV basketball. That was great. I knew I was not playing basketball the next year though. Oh, and then got to junior year track. So I really started cooking. I did the 4 hurdles, 400, and that's my first decathlon. That's when I fell in love with the decathlon. It was the end of the season. State meet was over. I wasn't going to nationals that year. We sent one relay to nationals that year, which was awesome. And my coach was like, Tibbs, you're pretty athletic. You want to try the decathlon? I was like, yeah, sure. Went there, got 15th in the state, like killed it. It was so much fun. You do one track event, then you do another one, then you do another one. You see all these kids getting tired, and you're like, I'm just having a blast out here. Except for that 1500. That thing is long, brother. Oh my goodness. But I was doing the decathlon. Oh, it was awesome. Then I was like, I'm so determined. Came back for senior year of football. This is where the grit mentality really comes. So that's one of the reasons I chose Gordon, but we'll get into that later with Wikerd. Shout out Coach Wikerd. Shout out Andrea if you're listening. Elise and Liam if you're listening. Go to bed or do some push-ups. Shout out Liam and Elise. Those are my two good friends. Wikerd's kids. I play football with Liam, and Elise climbs on me and hits me sometimes. But sometimes she's nice. Just kidding, Elise. You're the best. I'll eat some more pink pudding for you when I come over. I promise. I won't gag this time. It was there's this pink pudding. It's like Canadian, or it's like Meta Night or something. They just like put rice balls in a bowl and then they just put pink food coloring, and it's like you ever have boba tea? It's that tea with the little like black balls at the bottom.
Yeah. No, I'm not much of a tea guy.
That's fair. Me neither. So I wasn't like prepared.
Yeah.
So I started like eating it, and I had to like chew the rice balls individually, and I was freaking out. So I had a mini freak out at the table, and Wikerd was just having a field day with it. He was shoving me, messing with me. Andrea was laughing. Elise was making fun of me. So now this princess pudding is what Elise calls it. Is my mortal enemy, and I shall return and eat an entire carton and destroy it. All right, where was I? Senior year of football.
Yeah.
So I come
back
out.
back to your athletics
Yeah.
now. How'd you get on Princess Pudding or whatever?
I don't know, Schneider. I was just thinking of Wikerd. That's my guy. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hang out in his office every day. We just do home. Sometimes we do work. Sometimes we goof off. Steve came in once and sat on a bouncy ball and popped it because he's so muscular. It was so fun. Shout out Steven. Best lifter I've ever seen in the gym. That's my brother. Get your stick skills up in Madden, though. See you on the court. Yeah, so all right, I'm coming into senior year of football. I don't know. I got sidetracked, Schneider. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I've only got an hour.
Please,
I've only got an hour. I'm freaking out.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, so all right, we're senior year of football. I come in. I'm very small, but I'm fast. But my coach preferred height and weight. So I was a senior, but I wasn't on varsity for the first game. Played JV. 200 yards, like something stupid, Schneider. It's like 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. It's JV. It's high school JV, and I'm a senior. I'm playing against, I was sophomores. I was mad because I wanted to play varsity. I was mad. Talked to the coach. Proved in practice. I was like, all right, but he just wouldn't play me every week. I was on kickoff, and that was it. And I was getting so mad. But I loved football, and I loved the JV coach. So a couple of my kids in my grade quit because they didn't get playing time. But I was like, I love this sport. It's my senior year. I'm going to finish it out. I'd already decided to quit basketball to run track 2 seasons because I was talking to Wikerd, and he wanted me to come here. And I knew I was going to quit basketball, so I knew I had to finish football out. I needed one more sport where there was actually, like, the playing. It wasn't competing. It was, like, playing. It was like a game. Like, you don't text your friends and go, yo, let's run a pickup 400. Or, yo, let's go run a 5K. No, you text your friends, yo, let's go hoop. Let's go play some football. It's pickup. It's a game. It's fun. Track is fun. Shout out Coach Wikerd. Track is fun, I swear. I love cross country. Go Scots. But it's not a game. So I keep playing. I go for I'm like probably like the greatest JV player that ever lived. I'm sorry. That was so obnoxious. I loved JV. That's a better way to put it. Coaching was my guy. He'd let me run running back, quarterback, wide receiver. He'd just put me everywhere. He'd give me the ball. He knew I was a senior. He felt bad for me, and he knew I was fast. He knew I deserved to be on varsity. He was lobbying for me on varsity. Shout out Coaching. That's my guy right there. Oh, but also shout out Coach Peterson. Thank you for finally giving me a shot halfway through the season. But yeah, so I keep tearing it up on JV. I'm having a ball. And then finally, one of our receivers gets injured. And I was playing running back at that point, but Coach Peterson felt bad. I don't know if he felt bad or he wanted to give me a shot, but he's like, all right, Tibbs, we'll give you a shot at wide receiver. I starting out, first game. I'll never forget this the rest of my life. First game was Arlington. It was my first varsity game ever. Went in there. 8 catches, 144 yards, touchdown, just lit it up. I was having a ball. Looked right at my coach every time I made a catch. Was like, this is what you were missing the whole season. Only played 6 games, only played like half the season, but led us in receiving yards, catches, yak, touchdowns, led us in everything receiving. It just felt good to just like show my coach that like small people could be good too. Except in the playoff game. I got lit up. I was too small that game. The linebacker was like 6'5", like Chase Drouse. Oh my goodness, have mercy on my soul. I was running a cross route, first route of the game, just pow, right to, I got knocked out. Nicest dude ever. Picked me up like a feather. Hey, 40, you okay? Yeah, I'm good. That game was awesome. It was in the freezing cold too. Then we get to senior day. It was ice bowl, we called it. We couldn't wear cleats because the field was like cement. It was -13. So we all had sneakers on. It was just like backyard football. You couldn't catch. I had 8 layers on. We had heaters on the sideline just to like keep us like manageable. And I was just, And my first catch of that game went for a touchdown, and I pointed at my track coach, actually. He was in the stands. I, like, looked at him as I was crossing the goal line. It was like, I'm ready for our season. Let's get it going. So that was my senior year of football. It had its ups and downs, but eventually I got to prove myself, got to prove my grittiness, and got to go out there and just kill it. Shout out Liam. Play football. Actually, listen to your father. I don't want to do push-ups. Don't play football. Play flag football. Actually, no. Just do gymnastics and cross country. Shout out Coach Wikerd. I'm not trying to make your son play football. Amen. Where am I? All right, now we're getting to the fun stuff. Now, indoor track. Senior year, I've quit basketball. I apologize to the coach. I was like, I think track's my thing. It was mostly just Wikerd. Wikerd was my guy that year. I thought he was the coolest dude ever. We'll go to the recruiting after we go. We'll do a summary, then we'll go to the recruiting, then we'll do some highlights. I might talk about the Vikings a little bit. I watched a video on deep sea fishing on my walk over here, so I kind of want to discuss that with you. It was interesting, and Wikerd was talking to me about deep sea fishing, so maybe it's just on my mind. But
any fishing stories you've got?
Yeah,
whatever.
No, I was walking over here. Or not walking over here. So I started indoor track. I never done indoor before. I'd only done sprints. I'd only done 400 and under. And my coach goes, Joe, let's put you in a 600. It's like the first meet. I'm doing good. I'm in our varsity 4x4. I'm not a captain because I never done indoor before, but I already could tell I was going to be a captain for outdoor, so I was psyched about that. I was ready to lead this team. I had my guys, Josh Backert, Selvin Backert, who I'm recruiting to Gordon, actually, and Andrew McGovern. We were the all-time 4x4. Oh, we were such a nice 4x4. Not the fastest. Thomas Lingard, Lucas Honahan, Josh Backert, Andrew McGovern. They were the fastest. But we were like best friends. We hung out all the time on weekends. We played dominoes. We played Magic the Gathering. Oh, that game is so much fun. I don't understand why everyone doesn't play it. It is so much fun. But yeah, so we're going. Coach throws me in a 600. I've never done a barrel. Remind me, I'm a football player. I've never done a barrel start before. And, like, I'm usually in lanes, so I can't touch anyone. I can't get, like, nothing. Like, we're just chilling in lanes. My coach goes, Joe, be aggressive. So I'm like, okay. I didn't know he meant sprint. I thought he meant be aggressive. So I position myself in between two of our rivals, stick my elbows out, and just the second the gun goes off, I just wham, right back into like my start. Hit them both in the stomachs. Felt so bad afterward. I thought, because I'd always seen barrel starts, but I'd only ever seen them at states. And they were throwing bows at states. But I didn't know that during a normal meet, you had to be, like, it was just track etiquette. That sounds like something Wikerd would say. Track etiquette. Ugh. Goodness gracious. Shout out Corinne. Shout out Edison. Y'all my other coaches. Y'all the best. All right. But yeah, so I throw these bows, and I just start sprinting. Because I've only ever done sprints. So I was freaking out. I sprint another lap, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this sucks. Like, there's so much track left to cover, but I somehow, like, get through it. I beat this guy out the line, and I just qualified for states, and I was just, like, screaming. I'd never done it before. I was hyped. I was like, this proves that sprinters can do anything. That's my motto. Sprinters can do anything. That's why I do cross country. Shout out Steven. You a sprinter, brother. Shout out Will Hunt. Shout out Chase. Shout out Abby.
Have you mentioned Josh Crowder yet?
Shout out Josh Crowder, Katie Puala, Alex Ferris.
We actually just got a question. Crowder texted Chase, who's letting me know. He wants to know your view on Visco girls and hydro flasks.
Don't even get. I'm a Visco. I'm a Visco man myself. In the summers, I'm a Sherpa. I Sherpa rich white families in the Adirondacks through Camp of the Woods. Y'all should all work there if you're listening. Nicest people ever. You come to the resort, we just hang out, we just take them on hikes, we run sporting events, and you get paid for it. And if you refer me, I get a bonus. So apply to Camp of the Woods. Shout it out. Great summer. Faith-building experience. You get to be in the woods. But yeah, I Sherpa in the summers, and I usually Sherpa with people that are pretty good photographers. So I get a lot of good pictures. So I tend to enjoy Visco. I use it. I don't have Snapchat.
Is that what your Visco feed really
My Visco is all just nature pictures. So it's not these hydro flask, but these girls that be taking these like hydro flask pictures. I don't even know what's up. Like, cool, it's a water bottle. I bought my Nalgene for $5.99 and it's lasted me 4 years. Shout out Nalgene. Shout out Josh Crowder. It's my guy right there. But yeah, I don't know what the hype is, but if Crowder wants to post pictures of his water bottle, he can. Like, I'm not gonna hate on him. That's my brother. Chase D-Rouse posts a lot of pictures of water bottles. I don't know. He just wants to stay hydrated. Shout out hydration.
Never once posted a picture of my water.
I love you too, Chase. All right, where was we? Oh,
Well, he also wants to know what kind of music you're into. So.
Oh, goodness, I'm into a lot of music. If it's before like a meet or something, I'll enjoy some rap, some hip hop. If I'm with Toro loves Rich Homie Quan, Macklemore, so I'll listen to that with him. I love them too. Shout out Rich Homie Quan.
All the guys he shouted out at the beginning of the show, right?
Yeah, everybody. Let's see. I do enjoy country though. I love country music. Not a lot of people don't, but I love.
No,
Luke
I'll
Combs,
get behind that.
Kip Moore has a beautiful Southern drawl. Keith Urban's good. Brett Young. I enjoy Brett Young, but Combs and Kip Moore take the top. And there's just so many. Like, it's if you're in a chill mood, you're outside or you're driving with the windows down. Oh, country music is just phenomenal. And then I'll enjoy some classic rock. I enjoy classic rock too. I like I like the Beatles. I like Elton John. I like Tiny Dancer. I didn't see the Elton John
Who doesn't
movie,
like
though.
the Beatles?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Rocks. Maybe a chair. They can't really listen. Maybe this wall.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Well.
But yeah, I was funny story. Taylor Swift Love Story is actually my favorite car song though. Like if that song comes in the car, I will start screaming. You can ask Steven or Toro or JVB or Crowder or Ferris. We were driving back from the outlets where I bought this phenomenal coat, so cheap at Columbia, and I bought a $15 hat because it had mountains on the front. And it was mesh, and it looked really comfortable, and it was awesome. We were driving back. He puts on Taylor Swift, and I was just screaming at Schneider. I thought my vocal cords were going to, like, bleed. It was awesome. I love that song. But, yeah, rap, country, I do a little bit of classic rock. If I'm with Wikerd, we'll listen to these, like, Canadian shows where they just talk about bacon and, like, Canadian clothing. Because I don't know, that's what Wikerd likes to listen to, and I respect that because he's my brother.
Bacon and Canadian
we
clothing.
were just driving, and they talked about bacon and frostbite, and the show's only like a minute and a half, and 3/4 of the show is just them saying hello to each other and saying have a nice day. Oh, it's awesome. You should ask Wikerd about it. It's a great time. That's me and his thing. We just listen to that show. But yeah, I love music. I love all different kinds of music. I'm getting sidetracked though. Where was I before?
Senior year, about
senior year indoor track. So we were doing great. We won the league. It's my goal. I told the team as seniors and as my whole senior class, we're gonna win the league back to back, outdoor, indoor, indoor, outdoor. We won it indoor. It was phenomenal. Went to the postseason. Ran at D1s. I qualified for the All-State meet in our 4x4, which was awesome. I opted out of the 600 though at D1s because we were trying to run a nationals qualifying for the 4x4. But then our other runner had hip problems, so he couldn't even run it, so we had to throw in a backup guy to run with me and the other two regular starting guys. So we didn't make it, but it was okay. We'd already qualified the SMR for nationals, which was awesome. So we're at all states. I'm running the 4x4, and it's like there's 2 laps in indoor because it's a 200-meter track. So it's like I'm just starting the second lap, and I just feel something like pop or like crack in my foot, and I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, okay, whatever. And it started hurting a lot though, but I was like, it's probably just because I'm tired. So I finished the 400. It was slow. It was so slow though. It was like a 53-1. It was bad. It was bad.
That's slow for you?
Well, for a relay split. Relay split should be like 51s, 52s. For an open, that wouldn't be bad for me. I'm not very fast. Shout out Will Lott. That boy's fast. He does love sleeping in though. Just kidding, Will Lott. I love you. You're my brother.
Yeah, he wasn't here at 6 a.m.
I know
that was
the implied joke.
Ah.
But yeah. So I do it, and then after my foot started killing me at practice. But it's like we qualified for nationals in the SMR, so I was gonna go do that for fun, and I was gonna do the All-State Pent because I qualified with my decathlon score last year. It qualified me for all multi events in the state, which is awesome, which is nice because you just do it once because it's so hard to find decathlon meets. Shout out Coach Wikerd, who's going to take me to some decathlon meets this spring. God bless you. Tied for the best coach I ever had with Coach McKenna, my mid-distance coach who would scream at me, watch me puke in a workout, and then pull me up and put me back on the track and tell me to run faster. Oh, harsh coaches are my favorite thing ever.
Sounds intense.
I've never had like an easy coach, which is awesome, which is super nice. And Wikerd is just as intense, and I love it. I can't, like, if a coach is too like nice or easy, I can't work. I need the iron fist. And
Sure.
Wikerd has like the
Yeah, no, I
perfect.
get that.
Wikerd's the perfect mix. So like he's nice. We're awesome. We're friends when we're not at practice. But at practice, he's screaming at me. I'm punching trees mid workout after I ripped four flat 1200s. Shout out Cameron. Shout out Will Hunt. Shout out JVB. Shout out Mikey. The workout group, my boys. Shout out Mikey for phenomenal race this weekend. PR'd, beat me, which was awesome. Was cooking. Came in 4th on the team. Awesome. Shout out everyone that ran this weekend. Shout out everyone that didn't run this weekend.
Yeah,
Hannah
it was a
Bishop,
good
hope you're
race.
feeling better. You're my homie. Never forget that. Hope your IT band's feeling better. We need you back for a conference. Shout out JVB. Hope your Cavs feel better, buddy. You're very fast. You're also very good at Madden.
All right. Yeah, well, I guess, I'd ask you for more high school stories, but the show's already halfway over, so I want to keep moving along here.
That's fair. I do have funny high school stories.
Yeah.
We'll go back
Well,
at the end if we have time.
yeah, sure. So what brought you to Gordon?
Oh,
What was that recruitment
It
process
was
like?
100% Wikerd. So I looked at a couple D3 schools for football, actually, because I thought maybe I want to play football, but I've had 7 concussions. It's probably not logistically smart for me to play football anymore. So I finally gave up on that. I talked to a couple coaches. So then I was going to do track and field. And I was either going to walk on to like a D2 school or something, or go somewhere just for academics, and then decide to run track there, or I was going to look at it. There was some D3 schools I was looking at, Brandeis, which is a very good business school. I didn't really want to go to business. A couple schools in Maine, WPI, because I want to do science and stuff. Gordon was on the list. Gordon never recruited me though. I just like sent them my times. Shout out Corinne, you're a great recruiter. Keep it up. You're doing great this year. That was not mean against you. That was just part of the story. But I thought Gordon, I looked nice. I didn't want to go to. I thought a Christian school would be nice to go to, and there was a couple others I would run track at. Actually, a lot of teams in our conference I talked to run track and field. Never cross country though, because I played football for 13 years. I'm fat and slow. I sprint for 5 yards and then knock someone out or get knocked out. But yeah, I was looking, and then so I finally was like, okay, I'll send my times to Gordon, see what happens. I sent him. Wikerd got back, or Corinne got back. Someone got back. Set up a visit, and I'd already visited a couple of their schools, and they were super nice. And a lot of schools had good tracks, nice like varsity athlete only gyms, which was cool. But then I got to nice campuses, not as nice as Gordon's. So Gordon's campus was one of the reasons, because I knew I would be running in that woods and on that track, and it was gorgeous. And then so yeah, I get to Gordon, and I walk in, and like the first thing I see is like Wikerd with this just like goofy smile on his face. His beard is looking beardy. He's bald. He has his hat off. He's just laughing at me, and he's like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Hey, coach." And my mom was there. My mom comes to Gordon a lot. She does some work at the school. She's friends with a lot of the professors. She does some work at the school. She's actually friends with Toro, because Toro's a very important figure. He's like a legend. Yeah, so I get here. The first thing I see is Wikerd, and we just were talking, and I was just vibing. And I knew that like this coach was like a coach that like cared about people. And me and Wikerd have the same maturity level. We're both at about an 8-year-old, except during practice when we're at like a 40-year-old at work. There's no in between. We're either 8 or 40. 8 when we're not at practice. We're just goofing off. Like some of the jokes, oh my goodness, they're hilarious. Most like respectful, nice coach I've ever met, but he still knows. He knows the line. He knows how to keep it professional, but he knows how to joke around with his athletes, which is awesome. One of the main reasons I came. Like I came and we were visiting and we were just joking around the whole time. I talked about the other schools I was interested in. I talked about what major I wanted to do if Gordon could offer that. And he showed me the facilities. It was awesome. We talked about how high school track was going. Oh, he was great. He was just phenomenal. And then the next person I met was Big Steve, who is now one of my closest friends. And I was talking with him. He was awesome. He was as goofy as Wikerd. The first time we saw him, he was running sprints on the upstairs ceramic surface around I don't know what surface. It's like rubber. It's like gym floor. He was running laps around there up there. And Coach walked in, and the minute Coach saw Big Steve, he just got so hyped, and he started yelling at him. He's like, "Let's go, Big Steve!" So you're getting this work in. I just saw like that vibe they had, and I loved it. And then I got to meet more of the team when I came for Fellows Day. I love the team, and so I was an easy recruit. It was in like September or August. After my visit, I was like, I love Coach Wikerd. I looked at the campus. The campus was beautiful. They had environmental science, which is what I wanted my major to be, and they looked like they had a strong program. So I was like, I'm done. I did like rushed application or something, submitted, got accepted, and then just committed to Gordon in the fall. Super nice. My high school also had a D3 signing day, because D3 signing day is not a real thing. It's just to like make us feel good, which is awesome. So I got to sign like a blank piece of paper and sit there, and I had my Gordon gear on, and it was super fun. We were in the gymnasium. I got to see all my other friends that were going to college to play sports too, and that was a great day. That was a story for another time, the high school story. But yeah, it was Wikerd, it was the team, and my mom and dad also came to Gordon a while back, so they told me it was a good time, and they're both phenomenal. I love them, and they both told me it was a great college. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. I wasn't thinking about it at first though. I was thinking about a lot of other schools, but then it was mostly just the people. The people brought me here. It was a great community. I love the vibe.
Yeah,
And the
definitely
campus
is.
is also beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously, you end up running cross country.
I did, yeah. I did not want to at first. I was so nervous about it.
Are you glad you did?
I did. I love the team's my best friends, and I'm not actually that bad at it. It's pretty fun. It's a lot more tiring than track, so you just have to keep going. When at track, you just go all out, breathe heavy for a few minutes, and feel good about yourself and collapse. Cross country, you just collapse internally. It's like everything is just like, Joe, stop running. And I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry. Like, brothers, I'm sorry. You got to keep going. And my legs, it's like, Joe, please. I'm like, I'm sorry. You got to keep going.
So, your track event, I know you mentioned you threw shot put a little bit in high school.
I did.
Are you throwing this year at all?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
I'm so
not.
small.
Okay.
I'm 200, 400, 4 hurdles, and decathlon.
So those are your events.
Those are going to be my events. I do have to throw for the decathlon.
Well, of course, yeah, sure.
But it's not my main thing. We have a lot of great throwers on this team, and they're all so many times better than me. It wouldn't, like, my talents are best used on the track, where I'm actually fast, which is nice. But cross country's good too. I am excited for the spring though. I feel like I have a lot I can bring to the program. I feel like we have a great recruiting class. We have strong sophomore, junior, and senior classes. I think this will be a great year for us in the spring.
Yeah. What are your expectations or personal
goals?
Yeah.
I would like to break 2 school records. I would like to break the 200 and the 400 hurdles my freshman year. That is goals, because I've run those times before in high school, and I know I can hit them again. I just have to focus and do it. I would also like our 4x4 to be the best 4x4 in the conference. I think we have the talent for it. I think we have the speed for it, and we have the grit for it. I think we're the grittiest team in the conference. I would also like to win conference. I like to set my expectations big. I think we have the firepower for it. We have a solid sprint group, especially if Big Steve sprints. Shout out 11 Flat. Shout out Big Steve. It's my guy right there. I think we have a great mid-distance group. We have a lot of guys coming in. I don't see a weak link on this team. We have a great distance squad led by Toro, Mikey, a bunch of guys coming in from cross country. Great throws squad, like all around, women and men. I think we have a great squad. Mid-distance, we have a great squad. And sprints, we're deep too. I think we're gonna be good all around. I don't see a weakness. I'm excited for the season. We have 70-something kids too, which is phenomenal. If you want to do track, coming out, you get to hang out with me. I'll be goofy. You get to hang out with Coach Wikerd. He's exactly like me. But
I'll second that. It's a great time, great experience.
He's exactly like me, but he wears a hat and has a cool beard. And he makes this like apple juice carbonated water thing at lunch, and he just brags about it. Oh, that thing is.
He's also an excellent coach.
He is also an excellent coach. Yes. Corinne's a great sprints coach. Edison's a great throws coach. Wikerd's a phenomenal head coach. We have a great team. Come on out. We'd love to have you.
Well, yeah. What record did you say you wanted to break?
I would like to break the 200 record and the 400 hurdles record. I would also like to break the 400 record. I'd like to fight Will a lot for that. I think that'd be really cool. I love team competition.
Well, the 400's 51:58. So
yes,
Will can do 49, right?
I know Will can do 49, and I've never done that before. But as Wikerd knows, I've never run a 400 properly before. I've gone out in 23 and then just died and closed in 29 and run 52. So I think if I learn to run it right,
so you've gone out in 23 flat
in a 400, yes. It was the stupidest thing I've ever done.
Because the 200 record is 23:59. So if you can do a 23 flat through a 400,
I've done less than that. I've done less than that in an open too. But
nice.
I literally ran that in a 400 and died. I jogged to Schneider's. It was so embarrassing. Because my coach was like, Joe, let's go out fast and let's rip it. And I get excited. I get very excited. I get gritty. So I just sprinted off the line. Had a 20-meter head on everybody and then just watched everyone pass me. I would like to also do the 400 hurdles is fun. Shout out Chase Sylvia. I hope you get that record, brother. Shout out Josh Crowder. I hope you get that record. I'm psyched to see us compete against each other this year. I think it'll be great. I love some competition on the team. Keeps things fiery. I love getting hyped up.
Yeah. You got any interest in the SMR?
The SMR, I think we could have a decent SMR. I don't know what leg I might. Coach Wikerd wants me to run an 800, and I'm terrified. I do not want to run an 800 because I know I'm going to go out in like a 55, 56, 400 and just realize, wow, I'm so tired right now. I just want to walk. But shout out Cameron, shout out Evan Page. Great.
I'm part of that record, actually.
You are part of the SMR record?
Yeah, well, record stood. It's not the most common event. So
yeah, no,
the record had stood
we
for.
had an SMR at Nationals.
Yeah.
My outdoor season.
It was one of the oldest records on the board, and just combination. Mikey couldn't do track last year.
Because of academic.
I ended up being.
So you dropped the class.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were a couple guys that could have done an 800 faster than me.
But you were on it. You came
that
up,
was like my event. They had other events that were their priority. So it's I did the 8, Chase did the 4, and then we had a couple sprinters do the 2.
That's awesome. I would love to run an SMR. I think we could run a great SMR.
Yeah, it's 358.4. So
that's awesome. Our high school SMR. I forget what we were like. I don't know. We were good. We went to nationals though. I have a story about that too. That was fun. I got to go watch all these crazy fast runners go D1 when I'm just there for a relay with my emerging elite bag, just being happy, watching people 1,000 times better than me run. Oh, that meets awesome. That's why I'm excited, even if I don't get to run at New England's, if I'm in an alternate or something. I'm excited to go because I love watching people better than me because I love watching what they do and how they race so I can better myself. And I just love watching good track and
I'm the
field.
same way, no matter what it is. If I watch somebody who's better than me, and
and the World Championships for track just happened. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out USA hammer throwing, first medal, and she went gold. That was awesome. The Olympics coming up next year, 2020. I'm excited. I love watching professional track. I'm on mile split, die stat performance of the week, runner space. I follow all the big meets. I just love the sport.
What did you think of Kipchoge breaking the 2-hour barrier?
I thought that was phenomenal, and I was up at 3 a.m. to watch him finish.
Nice.
I think the rumor trying to not make it official because he had a pace car.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he had a car. He had
a
set
like
group
that
of
still,
rotating, but
he ran. It's not like anyone helped
him.
He
covered the distance on foot.
He covered the distance in sub 2.
Yeah,
which was phenomenal. Great. I think it is, if not the most, one of the greatest feats of this decade, if not century.
He mentioned Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute barrier in the mile. That was probably.
And now we have people run like 3:30s, 3:40s.
Yeah, probably the greatest achievement in running since that. In terms of breaking
honestly,
barriers,
probably because they had the scientists do work on it, and they were like, it's like humanly impossible. Like you'll die if you go sub 2. And I was like, talk to track athletes. Nothing is impossible. But
now it's proof that it can.
It's proof that it can happen.
It's possible. Yeah.
I was so psyched when he crossed that line. He looked phenomenal the whole time. 14, 10, 5Ks one after another. Oh, absolutely absurd. That was great.
Yeah. So we probably got to keep an eye on Berlin. That's usually the marathon where, the record tends to go down every couple of years.
And then no one talks about the woman. I forget her name, but she broke the woman's record in the marathon.
What's that record down to now? Like,
it's low
or 2:12. Yeah,
it's low 2. It's like 2. It might be 2:0 something, or it might be 2:10. My mom actually did 4 Boston marathons.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
How'd she do? She's an athlete. She was like 4 hours or something, which was really good. She's like 6.
Great.
She's like 6'2". She's crazy.
Anybody can just finish one of those races.
I want. That's one of my goals in life. It would be to do a marathon. I'd probably do it with Big Steve. Big Steve, let's do a marathon, brother. You can walk a little bit if you want, but you got to jog most of it. I think I'd be fun. I would be so exhausted because like on our long runs now, I do like 10 miles, and I'm just thinking like double that, and then another like,
So you want to get Big Steve out for a marathon? Is that your goal?
Yes. Big Steve, come out and do a marathon with me. I'll give you $10 and a firm handshake. Maybe a gift card to McDonald's. Or me and Coach will make ribs with you at his house.
That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, it would be a good deal. This Big Steve's actually birthday was a little bit ago. Kara's birthdays.
Sounds like a bargain to me. I mean, I would run a marathon for that. I know I'm not supposed to be on here.
D-Rouse, you can run with us too if you'd like. Wikerd, you in? Marathon. Wikerd's actually good at that stuff, though, so we'll have to handicap him. He'll have to run with. We'll have him put one arm behind his back. Then it's even.
Guinness has all of those crazy world records.
The man just broke the
in a
record.
Where's Waldo costume and on stilts, like
I forget his name, but I was looking at runner spaces and I laughed because the man broke the unofficial world record for running a half marathon in a banana suit. He just broke it. It was like an hour something, which is absurd to be wearing like this big fluffy banana suit. Like, oh man, the stamina you have to have for that. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to ask you because I know you got your Viking shirt on right now.
I do. I always rep the Viking. If you see me
yeah,
around campus
no-
in Vikings gear, give me a skull. I'll give you one back. It's hard not to root for us because we've never won a Super Bowl, and we always find a way to choke it in the end. But I'll bleed purple till I die. Like I love the Vikings. I never imagined rooting for another team. Those are my guys. Mike Zimmer, Kirk Cousins. You asked me to name the lineup. I'll name everyone except our offensive line because it changes every week. Irv Smith actually had a phenomenal game this Sunday. I'm excited to see the young tight end keep growing. If we're talking about that, Adam Thielen's okay. If you guys are wondering, if you have him in fantasy, he's most likely not going to play this Thursday. As I was looking at the reports from practice and from their recovery day, and it's looking like they're going to hold him out against the Redskins. Give Olabisi Johnson some more targets to step up. We should do a fantasy show on here, Schneid's. Oh,
yeah?
I would talk fantasy with you.
We
all
have
day.
some open slots. I don't know if you.
Shout out
wanna
fantasy
start
football.
That, yeah.
I'm 5-1 in one league, 4-3 in the other. I'm doing pretty good. Dalvin Cook and Chris Godwin have been carrying me.
Yeah, I didn't have such a good week. I need the Patriots defense to go crazy
I mean,
tonight.
the Patriots D has been going crazy, and you never know. It's the Jets the Jets beat the Cowboys last week. Darnold's back. Darnold looks good, but it is still the Cowboys defense is nothing compared to the Patriots defense this year. From what I've seen, looked phenomenal against the Eagles last night.
Yeah, well.
So I'm sorry, Schneid.
I know.
It's
It was.
At least you guys have a ring. We don't have a ring, and you beat us 42 to 10 that year to get the ring.
Yeah, my apologies for the
That's okay.
NFC Championship game that
Okay,
year.
Liam and Elise rub it in so much that I'm just immune to it.
Yeah. So, you're telling all these stories from high school. Did you grow up? Is Minnesota your home? Is that how you became a Vikings fan?
I was born in Minnesota. That's why I'm a Minnesota fan. Everyone always asks me. I was born in Minnesota. Moved to Massachusetts when I was 1. So I have no reason to love Minnesota sports, but I just do. I go back there every year. A lot of my family's out there. I'm loyal to where I was born. That's how I see it. I was the only one me and my grandma are the only ones in my entire family to be born in Minnesota, which is cool. That's why I'm the only Minnesota fan in my family, except for my extended family, who of course lives in Minnesota. They are Minnesota fans, but the rest of my family is Patriots fans. And the Vikings came to Gillette one year. I was psyched, wore my Vikings gear, got up in the stands. We got kicked. Adam Thielen almost fought Bill Belichick. It was awesome. I got beer dumped on me, though, for wearing a Vikings jersey. This big dude behind me, he's like, hey, go back to Minnesota. He just, I cleaned it, though. It's okay,
rough.
guys. If you see me in my Thielen jersey, it's clean. God bless the washer and dryer, I guess. And Pats fans for being hilarious because, my walk out of that stadium was embarrassing. I just wanted to see my boys play.
Did the Vikings win or?
Oh, they got kicked.
Oh, they got kicked.
Schneid, the Pats destroyed us, but that's expected.
They've been destroying a lot of teams for the last
this year. They do have. I do think they have one of the easier schedules in the NFL this year, but they have proved it.
Yeah, well, they're in the same division as the Dolphins.
I know, but they're also in the same division as the Bills, and the Bills are just wreaking havoc in the NFC West right now. I mean, just the NFC in general. This year, I think it's a little more even. The AFC has some firepower, and the NFC has some firepower. I think it's a little more even this year. The last couple of years, the NFC has been, I think, more dominant, but then the Patriots come out and just win anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. To go to...
So are you Minnesota for all sports?
I am. I don't follow others as closely.
Because that's how I am with Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's how I am too. Like the
Eagles,
Twins,
Sixers,
Twins
Flyers,
had a good
Phillies,
Twins had a good season. We got rocked in the playoffs, but it's okay. Minnesota football actually is looking really good right now. We haven't played anyone yet, but we're undefeated. We're looking good. We're at the top of the Big Ten, and because of Wisconsin's upset from Illinois, and Timberwolves, we're always shaky. We get it done though. Like Timberwolves aren't a playoff team. I can accept that. Minnesota Wild, you can ask Mikey. I don't follow hockey in the slightest, and I don't know the last time the Minnesota Wild made a playoff.
Yeah, they haven't made too much noise in recent years. I don't think. But
it has not been. I would.
Oh,
but
the parity in the NHL is so great. You never know.
Yeah, the NHL is because if you have a good goalie, it changes the entire script. We should get D-Rouse on here, like Mikey. They know more. I feel like it's bad for me to be talking about hockey.
Chase coming back.
Don't tempt me, because if I come on talking about hockey, we're gonna take the next 3 hours of Scott radio time talking about hockey. You're not gonna know what to do, Tibbles, and Ben is gonna be like, just get me off the air. I'm not gonna do that to you guys.
I mean, I'm the same way with fantasy football. I had an hour and a half bike ride today, and I was just looking at fantasy football the whole time. That'd be a cool thing to do as a hobby later in life, be to have a fantasy football show because I love it. I played it for years. I think I'm good at it. I have winning records every season.
Yeah. Do you draft a lot of Vikings, or do you try to stay unbiased?
No, because then I draft Dalvin Cook because he's nice and he was available in the second round, but I don't reach for Vikings.
This is my problem because I have Dak Prescott's my quarterback in fantasy. So last night it's like a total conflict of interest for me because
I have I could be playing Adam Thielen or Stephon Diggs. I'd want them to drop 40. I'd much rather the Vikings to be a true football fan. I feel like you'd rather your team win.
Well, that's the thing. I hope Dak throws 6 touchdown passes and we win.
You can hope for that. But that's why I tend to stay away from Vikings players because if Kirk Cousins, for example, on Sunday threw a touchdown pass to C.J. Ham, I'm going to get the same amount of excited as if he gave it to Dalvin Cook. I don't care about the fantasy points at that point. C.J. Ham scored. The Vikings scored. I'm thrilled. C.J. Ham's a great guy, one of the best fullbacks in the NFL. Fullback is completely an underappreciated position. I think they're blocking the little pass routes. I think it's a phenomenal position. I'm sad it's going kind of extinct, but teams still find a way to use it. I love every player on the Vikings. Anybody could score, and I'd be happy as long as we win the game.
Yeah. Did you watch the game? Did you watch Eagles-Cowboys last night?
I did. Me and JV were playing Madden in the room. I'd gotten my homework done. I didn't have that much over break. I got my TGC essay done. We were playing Madden, watching it, and it's like 4 minutes into that. We turned it on 4 minutes into the game, and I'm like, oh, it's the first. There's like 9 minutes left. Probably nothing much happened, and it's 14-0 Cowboys, and I'm like, oh my goodness. God bless. And I see I have like 3 texts from Coach Wikerd. It's just like, what the Nancy? Our secondary is so bad. Me and him text a lot during football games. During the Vikings games, he likes to razz me a little bit. I like to razz him about the Eagles game. When the Vikings destroyed the Eagles a couple weeks ago, I was so sad. I was having a field day. You and Coach were not. Please.
I was busy, and then I saw at halftime it was 27-7, and I was like, okay, I'm going to bed.
Just not even
that's
that.
Not
worth it at that point. It was like that game last year where the Vikings played the Bills. I turned it on 10 minutes in the game. The Bills are up like 21-0, and I just turned it off, go on with my day. I don't want to think about it. Don't need that negativity. The Vikings will bounce back. Even though we didn't make the playoffs last year, kind of sad. But being in the NFC North is tough. That is a tough division. The Lions have been getting messed a little bit by the refs. I don't want to call it the NFL officiating, of course, but there's been some questionable.
I'll call out the NFL.
There has been some questionable calls that I clearly do not agree with in those games. The Packers should have lost that game. 2 hands to the face penalties. Hands are on the shoulder pads, Schneid. They were on the shoulder pads, brother. Shout out Coach Wikerd. You're cool.
I don't know about these refs these days.
It is a tough job.
I don't think
to be a referee.
I mean, people are crying rigged. I don't think it's rigged.
I think
they're just so bad.
We have the ability. We have the replay views and the camera angles that every play should be reviewable. You shouldn't have to challenge it. Like, if there's any question at all, the ref should go to the replay board. The NFL fans don't mind waiting an extra 5 minutes. The game's long anyway. It's 5 minutes. If we're getting the calls right, then God bless. Like, I'd love the officiating. But, if we just could review every play. There was also a Green Bay touchdown this week where he stepped out of bounds, and they just were like, touchdown. He stepped out of bounds 20 yards before the touchdown, and they went back and reviewed it because it's a scoring play, and they didn't even change it. It was unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, we got a few minutes left here. You got any final stories you want to get in these last few minutes or so?
Let's see. Oh, senior year of track. So the foot.
So we're going to circle back here.
We'll get back to the foot story.
Okay. Never finished that. All right.
So remember, first lap, all-state 4x4. I'm coming. I hear the pop or the crack. I don't think it's anything, so I'm still running. It's killing me though. After I ice it, I think it's just like stress or whatever. And then I go to the all-state pent next week, and it's just killing me during that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I go to the doctor, and it's broken. And I've been running on a broken foot for 2 weeks, and I didn't know. Stupidest thing ever. We get it casted up. I'm a captain for outdoor. I'm coming back for my senior season. It's supposed to be out 3 months or like 2.5 months. I'm like, absolutely not. I come back, and I just cut it off in 3 weeks, start wrapping it, just running again just because I want to be there for my team. And I have the whole summer to rehab it and stuff in the Adirondacks. I'm not going to be doing much sports. I can wrap it, put my hiking boots on, put a jacket on, take these people up the mountain anyway. So, yeah, I come back, and it's my first meet back, and I get on the line. It all starts, the officiating didn't put anyone on my blocks. So I'm getting in, and I feel the blocks are shaky. And I'm like, sir, can you put someone on my blocks, stand on my blocks? In track, blocks have little pads. Someone stands on them. They go into the track so you can push off them to get a good start, especially in sprints. So you can get a good start. And he just started. He put the gun up, and I'm like, whatever. So I get in the blocks. I push off. They just go sliding back. I go sliding back. I scream. I'm like, come on. But then I just like, whatever. It's not my fault. So I start sprinting. I'm over the first 4. I'm flying. I'm over the first 5 hurdles. I somehow still have a 20-meter lead on the field. It was the Twilight Invitational. It was a great meet. It's at night. It wasn't hot. I get to hurdle number 8, and I hit it, and I clip it with my trail leg. And your trail leg, when you go over hurdles, in an L, so your foot's pointed, and I clipped it, and it caught it, and I fell and just face first in the ground. But it was slow, but it was cool. I hit it. I hit the ground, and I roll, and I just keep running like nothing happened. And it was I slowed down so much. I got passed by 2 people, but it was the cool. I wish I had a video of it. It was the coolest thing. Besides some of my football highlights, it was probably my coolest sports highlight. I rolled, and I finished the race. Gave my coach a hug. My shoe broke, and my foot came out my shoe during that race. I still have the spikes in my room at home. It was funny. There's this huge tear, and my foot came out. I rolled, got all scratched up. It was just, if there was one thing that could summarize my track and field experience, it would be that. Just because I love gritting it out. I love having a great time. I just love...
Fitting that you're here at Gordon with the whole grit thing.
Yeah, I just love the fact that you can just work harder than someone and you'll be better than someone. That's why I love the sport. That's why I want to go out this spring, break some school records, have a ball, hopefully win conference. We have a loaded team. I'm psyched.
That'd be a lot of fun.
It would be. We have you on the team, Schneider. It's gonna be great. Your junior season. It's gonna be a great year.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we got Will Lott here too. He's in the studio waiting to come on. So
Will Lott, my man.
We gotta get out of here and let him take over.
God bless audience. Shout out my mom. Shout out Big Steve.
Yeah.
Shout out Coach Wikerd.
Hold on, are we gonna get some from Will here?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Shout out to the sprinters and Tibbles here, funniest man on the team. Yup.
That's my sprinter buddy. We're gonna be eating that 4x4 though. You already know.
All right. Yeah. Well, Tibbs, thank you for coming on. It's been a blast. Thank you for making my life super easy. I barely had any sort of rundown today.
More stories. I haven't even gotten into my friendly stories.
Yeah, we can have. Yeah, if we're
my
looking for
job,
guests
my high
later in
school
the year,
job
we can have you
story.
back, and I know we've got plenty of stories to tell. All right, so thank y'all for tuning in. If you're listening live, stay tuned. Will Lott is coming at you with a fresh take next, right here on Scott Radio. Have a good night, everybody.
Will Lott.